Hey, today I have a very special message for each and every one of you. Today, we're going to talk about why do the banks give out suckers every time you deposit money into them? Have you ever wondered why? Have you ever wondered why the banks give you suckers, guys? Right? Let me know in the chat as you're logging in. Let me know. Have you ever wondered why banks give out suckers every time you deposit money into them? And do you think that it's because they just want to thank you? Right? And if so, what do they want to thank you for? What do you think they want to thank you for, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Do you think it's devious intentions, or do you feel that it's just because they want to keep you as a customer? Let me know, guys. Okay, because what I'm going to bring to you today is it's going to open your mind, right? So make sure you have your pen and paper. Make sure you have an open heart and a receptive mind, guys, because I'm going to challenge uh, what we've been taught, right? And we've been taught a very specific way, and there's a reason why, guys. But man, as when I was putting this this together, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I remember going into the bank with my parents, right? It is back before we just had all the ATM and debit cards, and we actually went into the bank, we shook hands, we smiled, and they gave me a sucker every time that I walked out, and the sucker just happened to be a Dum Dum brand, right? Was it the bank telling me there was a Dum Dum? But think about this: every time you walk into the bank, what do you see? You see cameras in every corner, in the middle, and behind every camera, there's somebody watching that thing, watching that transaction happen. And there were, man, let me know. Do you think they're giving us a dum dum, a sucker, for devious reasons, or just because they genuinely like us, right? So let's find out, right? So think about this, guys. What I'm going to tell you today is going to be kind of shape shifting, right? Well, not shape shifting, mind shifting, right? If you go into any city, what are usually the biggest banks or the biggest buildings? What's usually the biggest buildings, guys, right? It's financial institutions, right? And you walk into the financial institutions, they got the nicest furniture, the nicest fixtures, everything. There's a reason why they're profitable, guys, right? Uh, Banks use a couple laws. Banks use a couple different principles that we're just not taught. But that's what these financial institutions follow, my friends, that create incredible profitability, right? And these principles, that's what I'm going to teach you here today, right? So you can also be profitable, okay, in your endeavors. So let's say I gave you this $20 bill right, okay, and I gave it to you. You went into the bank and you deposited it to get your sucker, right? Because you want that sucker, right? So let me ask you a question. Let me know in the chat. Do they take that money, that $20, do they stick it in an envelope, write your name on the top, and then stick it in the vault and wait for you to come back and get it? Do you think that's what they do with your money? Because it is your money, right? You're working hard for it, right? Do you think that's what they do to keep it safe for you? Let me know. I see no. Of course not. That's not what they do, guys. See, we all work hard for our money. We're all saving our money, right? They're not storing our money any longer. Back in the day when it was the gold standard, banks were full of money, banks were getting robbed. That's where money was, right? That's why people robbed the bank. So we got to ask ourselves, what are they doing with it? Let me ask you a question, guys. If all the customers for that bank actually did a run on the bank and said, I want to get my money out, do you think the bank would have that money? Absolutely not. That would be called the run on the bank. The bank would not have the money to pay out all the customers. That's why there's limits. That's why you see some people have multiple banks just in case there's ever a run on the bank and all the citizens want to go get their money out. The banks aren't going to have it, so the banks would limit how much you can withdraw. Okay, think about this. Let me know. Have you tried to get more than $5,000 out of the bank at one time? Not deposit, but withdraw. And they told you, oh, we don't have the money, sir. We don't have the money, ma'am. You got to come back on Wednesday. Because they got to actually order the money to wait for somebody else to come and deposit the money so they can get you back your money, because your money is in motion for them, right? The banks, here's what they do, guys, right? They take this money, they then multiply it by 9. They then multiply it by 9. They lend it out to someone for a car. They lend it out to someone for a house, for a business, for credit cards, for business loans, for credit cards. So we have to ask ourselves, one, how is it that banks get away with this? And two, how does this make them more profitable? It's a system that's built on principles, Okay, they're using someone else's money for their outcome. The first is called leverage. Leverage, guys. When they take somebody else's money, your money, and they leverage it, they put it to work for them to create more money. Okay, here's how it works. You deposit $100, right? They take your money, they create $900 out of thin air, IOUs, and they lend it out. Home loans, what, 4%, business loans, 6%, car loans, 5%, credit cards, 22%. So let's say the bank averages, let's just say 10%, okay? So if they pay you 1%, I know, don't laugh too hard, but let's say the bank pays you 1% interest, but they made 10%, what is their margin of profitability? Please don't say 9%, guys. 9% is a good rate of return, but my friends, that's actually 900% rate of return, guys. It's much, much more, right, than 9%. So let's say I was set up, you were set up, we were set up to not even know about banking principles, right? We aren't taught these numbers, right? So if you could make 900% rates of return, how often would you want to make those rates of return? Daily, annually, every 7 years, every 10 years, every 72 years, right? Think about that. Now, for the second principle, it's called the velocity of money. The velocity of money. So the first one was leverage. The second principle is velocity. Okay? They can lend your money out before they even have it. Think about that. This is why the banks set up the debit card system. This is why the banks set up the automatic transfers. This is why the banks set up the what? The automatic direct deposits. So they can track on a monthly basis how much revenue they're going to have coming in. That way they know how much to create and lend out before they even have it, guys. The velocity of money, right? We feel that it's convenient for us because we have automatic stuff. We don't have to write our checkbooks anymore, but it's really more convenient for them. Even though we feel it's convenient for us, it is, but it's more convenient for the banks because they're leveraging our money and creating velocity to make even more money. So the banks make money off of leverage and velocity. So let's think about what we're told, my friends. Let's think about what we're told. All right. We're told to sit on the other side. We're told to sit on the other side of money, right? Do the banks teach us how to leverage? Do they teach us how to leverage our money, right? No. We're taught the exact opposite. Never use debt, never use credit cards. In all cases, we've been taught to save and avoid leverage at all costs. Save and avoid leverage. Go to school, get a job, open up a bank account. Open up a bank account. We go get that corporate America job and they say, hey, do you want to save for retirement? Yes. Stick your money in the stock market, 401k, IRA, 403b, a thrift savings plan, a 457 deferred comp. Somebody else controls your money. Somebody else is putting your money away. So because those qualified plans, the 401ks, the IRAs, the thrift savings plan, the 457 deferred comp, you're sticking it in there and then you're working for the next 30 years. You don't touch your money for 30 years. What do you think it's just sitting there waiting on you? Or do you think somebody else is putting that money to work, making them a profit? Guys, think about this. All right. You got to take back control of your hard-earned money. So let's talk about velocity. We're not taught to keep our money moving, right? What are we taught? We're taught to park our money into an investment. Cross our fingers, hope and pray that 30 years later, there's going to be enough for us to retire with dignity. And what the baby boomer generation is just now experiencing is that most do not have enough to retire with dignity. So they're going to be working up until their elder years. The average 401k in America right now for an average 65-year-old is less than $130,000. If you just take out $10,000 per year to retire on and to live on, guess what? You're going to run out of money by the time you're 71 years old. And that's just saying if the market stays the same, not even drops. If the market drops, you're going to be relying on the government much sooner. But I know some of you just caught that. You said, who can live off of $10,000? We're not taught to save enough, guys. And we're taught poor financial vehicles to calculate, to multiply, to compound our growth without market risk, my friends. How many of you, let me know in the chat, how many of you right now like taking risk of loss? I know, but you've been taught to what? No risk, no reward. That's BS, my friends. That is BS, my friends. Warren Buffett's number one rule of investing is to never lose. And he's the fourth wealthiest man in the world. Never lose. Well, how can you lose if we go by the old cliche saying, no risk and no reward? That's just what you've been taught as middle-class America. Remember, Warren Buffett also said that he or she that controls your money controls you in the decisions that you make in your life. Would you agree? Let me know if you agree with that comment or not. If not, please challenge. If anything I say you don't agree with, please let's have some conversation. Right? It makes for a great topic. Right? So we're told that put your money in CDs. We're stuck there for 3 to 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years. Right? We're told bonds. Right? 20-year Treasury bonds. Right? We're told 401ks. We're told to pay off our houses early. Right? For all my Dave Ramsey fans, pay off your houses early. No, that's your biggest tax deduction. Why in the world would you pay it off early when you could take that extra payment and put towards something that's going to compound? My friends, we've been taught the wrong way. And all of that gives the ability, us leaving our money in the banks, us paying off our homes early. Guess what? The money goes straight back to the banks, right? So all of that gives the banks the ability to increase their velocity, because with that same let's just say 100,000, they created multiple assets. It's always going to point back to them, my friends. They're putting your money to work for them. And now the last thing that the banks do is they give the idea of controlling cash flow. Cash flow. On every deposit, there's a borrower. On every deposit, there's a borrower. Every time I need money, where do I go? The bank. Every time you need money, where do you go? The bank. So every dollar that's in circulation in the economy, the banks have their hand in it. Think about that for a second, guys. So what the banks have done by controlling the leverage and the velocity, they've also created the system. It's a system, right? They save themselves time, energy, and money. That controls, they get to touch everything. They get the benefit from everything that's circulating. This is called arbitrage off of every dollar in the economy, guys, right? This is, man, I wish I would have known this 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Man, the people that could have been impacted by this knowledge, but instead they were forced into a divorce because of financial difficulty, financial pressure. They were forced into not having a roof over their head because they didn't know how money worked, but the banks knew. They were forced into living beyond the poverty line because they didn't know how to get ahead, because they took financial education out of our school system. That's why I'm here, guys. I'm here on this crusade to fight the poverty war, to educate middle-class America on how money works and how money grows, my friends. Poverty is a mindset. It's not 100% society's fault. It's not 100% the government's fault or the school system's fault. It's some of our fault. I went to the shopping mall the other day because my boys work at the movie theater. I went to the shopping mall the other day, and we're supposedly in a recession, but there was no parking lots. There was no parking spaces. Everybody, their mama, their grandma, everybody was at the mall. It's people have money, they just don't know how to prioritize their money. They're buying things they don't need with money that they don't have, right? They're living for today, not knowing that tomorrow is going to be present. And they're going to be put in a position where it's going to be a rude awakening for them, right? So think about this, guys. Our goal here is to help you achieve 40 years of results in 15 years or less, guys. All we're doing is the exact opposite of what we've been told to do, okay? So for all of you people that are looking to say, you know what, I want to put my money to work for me. You know what, I know that there's something else out there. There's a reason why the wealthy are getting wealthier, and there's a reason why the poor middle class are getting poorer and more middle class. I know it doesn't have everything to do with the government. It has everything to do with us not being educated on the principles of the wealthy, on the principles of banking, which is cash flow, leverage, and velocity of money. But I want to learn that so I can start educating my family, not just for this generation, but for generations to come, guys. I'm going to post a link down below here shortly. And you just click on the link, man. we're going to have another wealth workshop coming up called Rock Solid Retirement to teach you how to outpace inflation, reduce the taxes that you have to pay to Uncle Sam, my friends. And if that's something that you're looking forward to, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up in this. Like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And if you're done being a sucker, I want you to put in the comments, I'm done being a sucker, guys. I am done being a dum-dum, right? I'm done being a sucker. That's crazy. And lastly, if you want more of this mind shifting and empowering content, guys, just be sure to follow, to subscribe, and for more of this content, guys. We're just wanting to bring value to you. We're wanting to help you change your life through free financial education, guys. So if it's been meaningful to you, if it's brought you value, just like, comment, share, subscribe, and get this knowledge out. Help us fight this poverty battle, guys. You can be that beacon of hope in your zip code because there's only one thing that's going to overcome the fear that's spread across our nation, and that's hope for a better tomorrow, my friends. Well, with that being said, y'all have a wonderful and blessed day.